I've had quite a few requests to halter break a horse on video, and now I have one that needs done, so here's a good opportunity. So I'm going to start out roping this horse with a hula hand loop. It helps keep him calm. You don't have to run him around the pen too much. It's just one swing and that loop's on, so it's good to not freak the horse out too much before you're trying to teach him to trust you. If I had a round pen in a different time slot, I might try a different approach before just sticking a loop on, but this works just as well. So the first thing I'm looking for is for this horse to take a step. When I pull on this rope here and you see his foot take a step, I release. That's all the horse needs in order to learn, is just a release. So right there, I'm starting to pull, and right when he steps, I release. I'm just doing this over and over and over again. I try and add the lightest amount of pressure I can, and if a horse doesn't respond, I just build and build. So say 1 is the lightest pressure and 5 is the heaviest pressure. I always start at 1 and build up to 5 as necessary until the horse steps. This is a really good way to keep a horse light. You set him up for success. If you're starting hard, the horse is going to be hard and not learn to be soft. So that's always the most important thing. And also your timing of your release. The faster you release when the horse responds, the better the horse is going to learn. When I do give my release, I usually have quite a bit more time that I let them sit there and think about it, because this is a video, I'm going to run through it pretty fast. Another thing is that when I'm first starting a horse, I usually stand to the side when I pull. You have more leverage there, and the horse is way more likely to step. If you're standing straight on, the horse is likely to lock up, and you're going to have to add a lot more pressure. So that's just a good way to set them up for success, to be light. Here, the horse is starting to figure out to lead, and I have slack in my rope, and that's what I'm looking for. He's learning that he doesn't have to stop every time, and he learns to just follow that rope without pressure. A lot of horses will revert, so right here, he's trying to test his limits and see what he can get away with. He wants to stand by his buddy. So you just have to work through that. You try and get the horse to stay and face you. And he figured it out, and that was the only other time he tested me under the halter. That's very common. Just keep taking baby steps, and it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back sometimes, but you'll always get there. If the horse is pretty resistant, sometimes I'll just kind of put that rope around my hip, not enough to where I can get in a bind or get stuck in it if the horse pulls back, but just for a little bit of leverage, especially if I'm facing away and not really looking directly at the horse. So make sure you do that safely, but now I'm just going to lead him around, make sure he really understands the concept, and work out any kinks before we move on to the next step, which will be trying to approach and touch him, which will be covered in the next video.